Now, so hello and welcome to tonight's training session, which is all about planning for 2024 success. I have got Emma, Rachel and Zoe kindly joining me tonight to give you a leader's perspective on how they plan their year out for maximum success. I can see lots of people who I know are very good at planning out their businesses on the screen. So please do comment along in the chat. I know you guys are really helpful to each other in the chat. Again, if you've got questions, if we've got time at the end, actually, I'm sure Emma, Zoe and Rachel will answer any questions at the end. So I'll keep a track. And obviously people will answer questions in the chat as we're going along as well. So without further ado, I will share my screen and start. I'm just going to change the view. Okay, so planning for 2024 success. So I'm mainly going to be talking about the incentives that are available in 2024 because they're quite different to what we've had before. And then just talking a brief overview of all the opportunities I think there are throughout the year that you could take advantage of in your business, because I think this business is very much what you make it. People are able to sell successfully all year round. People are able to team build successfully all year round. So if those people can do it, then you can definitely do it too. So I think it's very much like some months you might have to do things differently, but I think you can achieve success all year round in this business. And I think that's what we really want to show with this. It's just about planning ahead to make sure you know how you want to spend your time most productively. So one of the things I am most excited about for 2024 is the 250 Club. I would love to say it's my idea. It's definitely not. I've noticed lots of leaders do this with their teams. So what I've done is I've stolen their idea and not even tried to pretend it's my own. But the 250 Club, super, super exciting. And I think super achievable for everyone. I can see Annetta in my viewpoint. I mean, if you don't achieve this, then don't know who will. So the 250 Club is you place a £250 order in 1 month. You become part of the 250 Club for that month. You hopefully will have a nice little jazzy thing on your dashboard showing you're a 250 Club member for whatever the month is. And you get entered into a monthly prize draw to win some goodies for the office. Now, Becky and I have been working hard on some exciting merchandise, which some of which we've stolen from elsewhere, some of which we've had specifically made. Might not reveal too much until the first lot of winners receive their prizes. But suffice to say, the prizes are really good. So every month, 5 people will receive a prize as part of the 250 Club, and hopefully we'll get lots of stories of people sharing how they're achieving sales year round. If you are a 250 Club member, every month of the year, you will get put into a prize draw to win an afternoon tea at one of the oldest hotels in Oxford with me. So obviously that's a great prize in itself. So yes, very, very exciting. And I hope this is something, please do comment in the chat. Are you going to be a 250 Club member? Is this something that you're going to achieve every month of the year? If you're a team leader, is this something that your team are going to achieve every month of the year? But I think it is super, super exciting. And obviously, if you're selling £250 worth of books rather than £120 worth of books, your commission is going to be far higher too. So not only could you win some exciting things from the office, but your commission will be so much higher as a result. So there are 70 chances to win. So 70 people, well, there might be a slight overlap because if you've won a monthly prize, you could also still win the overall prize. But essentially 70 chances to win. So it's pretty good percentages wise. 5 monthly prize draw winners, which will be revealed in mine and Michelle's monthly message. We'll be drawing those winners. I think it might be more of a spinning wheel rather than a hand in a bucket. But it will be very exciting nonetheless. So do look out in February for that monthly message video, because our first 5 winners will be announced then. And you'll have a little tally on your dashboard as well, which will tell you how many months you have achieved this. If anyone new joins, so any of you are team building, if anyone new joins your team at any point during the year, they have to achieve it for each complete calendar month they were a partner for. So someone could join in July and still be in the 250 Club draw. So it is never too late to be a member of the 250 Club. Moving on to the Azores, which is described as the Hawaii of Europe. They didn't let me do a scoping out trip to confirm if that was true, but it looks incredible. So we have completely changed the criteria for this, because we didn't like the fact that you could be ruled out of it basically by the end of April. We didn't like that at all. We didn't think it was very fair or indeed very motivating. So there are lots of ways you could get yourself on the plane to the Azores, and for the first time ever, it's open to everyone. You don't have to be a leader to achieve this outright. Any partner could do it. So there are 4 ways to win. If you want to know what points you get for everything, it's quite lengthy, so I didn't list them out, but it is all in the blog about the Azores. So there are 4 ways to win. We will be taking the 15 highest points scorers will definitely go. So you can get points for selling, you can get points for recruiting people and helping them to sell, you can get points for helping people in your team to promote, and you can get points for promoting yourself. So there are 4 different ways that you can earn points, and the more of each of those things you do, the more successful you'll be. But you can do it your own way. So if you just like selling, just sell a bit more. If you mainly like team building, do that. If you like working with leaders in your team, do that. Whatever way you want to win, just keep an eye on the point scoring and kind of work out tactically how you're going to get the maximum points. There are then 3 wild cards. There's the sales one, so that is purely based on people's points that come from selling. So the top 50 sellers will be entered into a wild card draw. One of them will go. Whoever is in the top 15, they get removed. So say the top 15 people would have all been in the selling wild card. All of them get taken out of that, so it's minus those people. The recruiting wild card is the top 25 recruiters, one of them will win, and the leadership one is the top 5 leaders and one of them will win, all based on points. But do browse the blog, make yourself a drink before doing so, because it's quite lengthy, but hopefully you'll agree, super exciting that you're not going to get ruled out at any point during the year. It's all up for grabs, and you are much more in control of your own destiny, that you can change the way you're working, you can do a bit more of what you love to achieve your points. So hopefully lots of you are feeling very excited about the Azores and you're going to work to achieve it. And even if you don't achieve it, your business is going to grow so much as a result by focusing on those key areas of the business. So it is win-win, really. Moving on to the Achievement Awards. So the criteria for the main one hasn't changed. So the prize, every year we go to a different venue. So this year we're going on a boat cruise. The one that you can try to achieve, we're going to the Dorchester, which is a very nice hotel in London. And we also have a day in publishing, which is super, super exciting and exclusive. Money can't buy opportunity. The categories are the same. So there are 8 ways to win this. So again, it's a case of working out what you like in your business and focusing on that. So it's the same categories, same criteria as before. So top partner, top new partner, top schools partner, new schools partner, recruiter, new recruiter, leader, new leader. So that is exactly the same. So these are cumulative point scores across the year, and the top 3 in each category will be invited to join us for a day in publishing, the publishing head office in London, and an evening meal in the Dorchester, along with an overnight stay. But new for 2024, again, not my idea. I think it might have actually been Keely's idea, but I've taken it and I've run with it. So new for 2024, we've had various feedback from people that you can have an amazing month and still not win the Achievement Awards. So we want to recognise the very best person for that month in each category. So using these categories, the best person for that month alone, so the best non-school seller, the best partner for that month, new partner, etc., for that month alone, will get put into a prize draw, and 1 out of the 8 people will win a £50 voucher. All 8 will get a certificate in the post. So hopefully that's exciting for people, because you should be rewarded if you've had a phenomenal month for selling or recruiting or leadership or whatever it might be. You should be celebrated for that month. So hopefully that's got people really excited about that. I feel like March could be a very competitive month for the school sellers of who is going to win that month, and November could be highly competitive as well. But yes, hopefully that is exciting. Again, mine and Michelle's monthly message, not to force you all to watch it, but watch it. We will be doing the prize draw in that of those 8 people as well. So you'll find out the winner each month in that monthly message. So super, super exciting. So there are loads of things you can win this year for doing an amazing job in your business. And hopefully at least one of those things you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I'm definitely going to be in the 250 club every month. Or do you know what? I'm going to try to go to the Azores because it's the first year that I know I can do that criteria. I've just, slightly gone backwards on the PowerPoint. Yes, so 12 chances to win 1 winner each month. So I haven't added up all the chances to win for all the various things, but it's a lot. There's 24 for the achievement awards, 12 for the monthly ones, like 17 for the 250 club, 18 for travel. So that's over 100 people could win something, which I think is very exciting. So moving on to seasonal opportunities, because we're weird at Usborne and we do things like in 3 seasons rather than 4, I've gone with that method of condensing this. So firstly, I looked at January to April and what I thought all the opportunities are. You'll probably notice a theme going through this, because I think a lot of them are quite similar. You just adapt it to the season. And one thing I've noticed looking at which books we sell when, book selling is quite seasonal. So people basically latch onto a moment, that's customers, and they want all the books for that particular moment. And I think stuff goes in cycles. So if you kind of divide your year into 3 and work out what your opportunities are for each period, I think you will succeed. So January is the new thing of everything. I have been talking a lot about gym memberships, and January is your peak time to get people when they're keen and enthusiastic and wanting to make a New Year's resolution. They might not keep it, but you can start with positive intentions at January. So you've got a new term at school. So that's going to be great for doing sponsored reads, because teachers are refreshed after the holidays, and for re-promoting author events. We went to a conference recently, a schools conference of 800 teachers, and a lot of them said they'd struggled to book an author event, not an Usborne one actually, just in general. They wanted an author to come, they didn't have a clue how to go about it. So I think just your basic services are so much more useful than you could ever think they are. Again, people might be making New Year's resolutions, so it's a good time to start book clubs. People started buying loads of Easter books in January last year, or at least they did according to our sales figures. So I think people, as soon as the Christmas goes out of the shops, at least in the UK, please let me know elsewhere if other countries are equally mad and they start hitting Easter as soon as January strikes. You've got World Book Day in March in the UK, April outside the UK for the rest of the world. So super exciting time for everyone. Baby and toddler groups. I have a 2-year-old, so it's still fairly recent in my memory of going to those. They love a themed session and a themed event, and they go all out. So would definitely love a themed session from you guys. Holidays, school holidays, I think a peak time for look for books. Again, not my idea. Whoever came up with it is an absolute genius, and there are 2 really good videos and tools and downloads from Charlotte Titterton and Paul White talking about how they've done look for books. But if you're ever stressed about selling over the holiday period, that's your way to do it. I think when you're out and about, you can get your children to hide the books if you've got them, force your friends to do it, whatever it might be. Look for books are genius, so I highly recommend you watch those videos. And obviously when a school holiday comes about, you can be selling your activity books because people are looking for something to do. Vicky McDonald made a really good point about indoor events and cold weather in a recent training session we did, and just how people are so much more inclined to agree to things just because it's cold and miserable and it's something to do. May to August, not cold and miserable, hopefully, super sunny and nice. I basically Anetta's in my view line, so I'm just using her for everything. I'm still waiting for my invitation to Poland, Anetta, to see the outdoor events in the summer. But you've got a summer term. The UK, at least, and hopefully elsewhere, people love a leavers gift. People have done really nice things with leavers legacy. So with the children that are leaving the schools, they do like a sponsorship event to raise money, and then they choose books that they want to leave in the school for the next generation of children, which is super, super cute. You've got schools wanting to spend their budgets, and all the teachers we met, contrary to popular opinion, they had money to spend. They just wanted it to go further. We give them free books, and they wanted someone to help them with what actual books are useful, because they can't possibly know every book we have to offer. Again, a great time for author events. I went to an author event in the summer, which was great, but it was quite funny because the children, it was at a secondary school, it was optional. So some children had picked to do that option. So we had kids that were really keen on creative writing and kids that hated sports, so had picked it because they didn't want to do the sports option. So the author coped really well with that. But I think it's a great time for author events in the summer when schools are kind of, exams are finished and they're looking for something to do. I know Jenny Pearson wants to go overseas. So if anyone is not in the UK and wants to book Jenny Pearson for an event, she's very keen to travel. So everyone's coming to Poland, Anetta. You've got summer fetes and fairs, getting out and about with your books. And I think it's so important to just get out and about with your books and have fun and see the joy on people's faces when you're selling them your books. Again, you can play in the holidays, people needing activity books. I am one of those parents. I tried to get my child some home learning books before she started school. She was not interested in completing them with me, but I felt like because I bought them, I was a better parent. So I think you will get the parents in the summer that want to at least pretend like they're doing a good job with home learning. Again, you can play on the starting school. I also got one of those. My daughter also didn't complete it. Again, you look for books. If I can convert everyone on this training session to do a look for a book, then definitely do. And nurseries, private ones that are open all year round, are also open in the summer. They're more inclined to do stuff because it's less busy, because people are going away and whatever. So don't think you can't do anything with an educational establishment over the summer, because you can, because some nurseries are open all year round. And finally, September to December, you've got Christmas. Hooray. I know loads of you use Christmas as a way to build relationships with the school, get in with that school, and then you can book a more profitable event for you. Again, new terms, so you can reintroduce people to author events they might have. You've got grotto gifts that you can do. I know people split the reading libraries to give cheap gifts, the class sets. I know a lot of people use those for the grotto gifts. We had a nurseries pack this year. So there's lots of things you can do to offer schools. Poppy got a slinky from Santa at her school thing. The slinky's already broken. I'd have much rather she'd got a book. So they are buying Santa gifts. And if you could save future parents from a broken slinky, I think that would be great. You've got Halloween. I don't think it's that massive in the UK. People don't tend to sell that many books. And I know certain other countries that are more religious than the UK as well. So it's maybe a no-no. But if you can go big on Halloween, go big on Halloween. Again, you've got Christmas. You've got parents' evenings. People seem to do really well with those. So if you work full-time, so you're not available during the day, or you are at home with kids all day, you could offer parents' evenings. People can buy books as a reward for their child for doing well, or they can buy them some home learning if they're not quite doing so well. Again, the weather's getting colder, so you can play in the book clubs card. You've got baby and toddler groups, you've got Christmas fetes and fairs, you've got activity books. Again, I think you can basically, it's very samey, because the point is you can regurgitate the same thing, just slightly change your wording. There's always a school holiday where people are going to need activity books. There's always an opportunity to go hide books in your community, and there's always some kind of seasonal event that you can tie in to people definitely needing to buy books for it. So that was very whistle stop. And I know Rachel, Emma, and Zoe are going to give you a much better overview of how to actually do things. But I just wanted to kind of brain dump how many different things you can do with just a bit of planning ahead. And finally, tools and downloads, everyone's favorite location. But the getting active category just has really good videos. If anyone else wants to do me a short 5-minute video on their favorite selling method, then please do send them in. But that category is really good. They're really short videos. They're 5 minutes and under, and they're just people talking about their favorite selling method and why it works for them and how it's helped their sales and which books they sell and like general top tips. So they're super short, super quick and easy to just go and watch them and enjoy hearing about what other people do with their books. And I'm going to now hand over to Emma. I believe you're talking. Are you talking first, Emma, or is Rachel?
Rachel's going to talk first.
My apologies. I'll hand over to Rachel then, and I will stop sharing, actually.
Thank you. So I was just going to cover a few things that have worked really well for me and my team, and hopefully can give you some ideas, but I think Lucy's given an introduction to most of them, so that thank you. So the first thing I was going to cover was book clubs. I think now is a really good time, especially after Christmas. A lot of people are looking at social media and looking at things to do for the new year. I've run a book club for just under 3 years now, and I've got at least 10 people that we regularly meet every month. I've had extra people joining, especially around January. I would say that was the busiest time for new members. So it's definitely a great time to advertise on like the Nextdoor app, Facebook community pages, all sorts really. I even ran a competition for people to win our next month's book. And I got a lady to join our book club that way because she got hooked on it. So that was a really good way to get them to join. The tools and downloads are brilliant for book clubs because they have all the discussion questions there. So it saves me a huge amount of time. And it gets me an order every month, because even if I just have my basic 10 people join, then I don't have to have much more to get a £120 order. So it makes me active every month. And I would say don't give up with it. Keep going and advertise it every single month, because I had people join every month. So I always had new people. So it's definitely a winner for me. Absolutely. And you don't have to meet in person either. You could do it online. I know a lot of people post out books for people who are sort of further afield, but I would say for me, I moved area, and that's when I started my book club, and it got me to meet a lot of new people. So community wise, it worked really well too. And also what's good for this time of year, I don't know what the weather's been like with you today, but it's been absolutely horrendous here. It's been chucking it down. We've had hail, storms, everything. So with little children, the main place that we would think to go would be soft play centres. And I've got a team member who has a regular weekly event with soft play centres. So she had a weekly booking. She trialled it for a month. The first couple of weeks were a little bit hit and miss, but I think that's because as a parent, I know that I would just grab what I needed and run out of the house and go and meet somebody. And I wouldn't necessarily have the money with me to buy any books, but I would definitely be interested in looking. So the more she did it every week, she built up customers and everybody was quite keen to look at the books. And she gets huge orders from it now. So January, February would be the ideal time, I would say, if you're keen to get out and about with the books, to maybe ring round some soft play centres and see if they'd be happy for you to have a table, and just give it a try. The soft play centre that my team members at, they don't charge her, and there's often a cafe there as well, so it's quite handy for people to just have a browse and see. But coming back to one of Lucy's big points is book hunts. That is my main passion. I absolutely love book hunts, and me and my team really went for it over the summer. A lot of us arranged book hunts, and I even had one lady, I don't know if she's on the call, but I had one team member who actually had to stop getting donations from businesses because she physically couldn't hide that many books over the summer holidays. She did absolutely amazing. So for those who don't know, book hunts, businesses sponsor books for you to hide for children to find, and it's an amazing community event. The amount of pictures that I had shared from families and thanks, and people still talk to me about the book hunts now from the summer. It's absolutely incredible. And I would say forming relationships with businesses is really good, because I would say my most popular donor was an estate agent. So I had about 2 or 3 estate agents want to sponsor books, and one of them wants to do it on a regular basis with me now. So for all school holidays, they want to do a book hunt with me, where they're going to organise colouring activity packs to go in with the books as well, that have all their branding on it. So it's not just like a one-off. I would say it's a regular thing. But if you're nervous about doing it, I would say try something small, maybe in like half term, and just do it over a couple of days. Use a few reading libraries, and do something small, and then build up to the summer holidays and do something really big. And it was, yeah, I think you'll find that it's really, really rewarding. Absolutely. So I'm 100% behind you on Lucy on that one. But the other one would be for World Book Day. I wanted to mention, a lot of people really go for schools, and they really focus on that because that's where the big orders are. But I would say don't forget nurseries. I've had huge success with nurseries, and one way I did it was I ran a competition and said that a nursery who received the most votes from people would receive a free bundle of books. So I didn't put a picture of the bundle of books up. I just said that there would be some free books going to the nursery that received the most votes. And the response I got was huge. I got hundreds and hundreds of votes from people voting for their local nursery. And I used that. So every nursery that was nominated, I emailed them, emailed the owner, and I told them about the competition. And I said, oh, I'm just letting you know that you've been nominated to potentially win some free books. I just thought I'd let you know, this is the link if you want to share it with parents. And also, whilst I was writing, I just wondered if you worked with an Usborne partner before. And I would say that 90% of the owners replied. And the majority of those didn't work with an Usborne partner and didn't have a clue of what we could offer. So that was a really good way for me to get in with the nurseries without having to ring them or email them like cold. So I would say that was a really good way of doing it. And I got a lot of sponsored listening events booked in for World Book Day and after as well. So they're regular contacts for me, and they've invited me to their Christmas parties, summer events, all sorts. So definitely don't forget the nurseries. I don't know how I'm doing for time, but that was about it from me. Hope that's okay.
That was amazing. Thank you, Rachel. And I feel like we didn't even plan it, but that worked really seamlessly.
It did, yeah.
Of you giving the actual information people needed of the elaboration. And that's just, yeah, like 3 really incredible ways to, well, actually you gave loads because you gave the soft loads. So many different ways that people can sell that they can just find what works for them. We've had a few questions. Actually, it might be more helpful to do them in between, if that's all right.
Okay.
So, Rachel, you had a question from Claire, which says, I have had no success when contacting businesses. Is there a magic way to get it? Email, letter, phone?
Yeah, so I would say over the summer, the most successful way of contacting businesses we had was like Facebook Messenger. So if you put together something short, people were putting like I don't know what you can use, like is it Canva? Sort of like a little short poster, something eye-catching, just to say you're doing a look for a book, promoting reading in the area, something quite short and catchy, and sending that on Facebook Messenger. That a lot of businesses got back to us that way. But otherwise, yeah, email, phone call as well. But yeah, definitely try social media as well.
And you said estate agents worked well, Rachel. Were there any other businesses that you found were particularly receptive?
I would say after that, it was a big mix. Some new businesses, some well-established. They were all very varied, but estate agents for me worked really well. I think it will just depend on the area, but yeah.
I've seen, yeah, Laura said new housing developments. I think the thing to remember with Look for Books as well, thank you, Rachel, for hyping them up massively too, is you are doing the businesses a favour. It is the cheapest marketing they will find, like such a cheap way for them to market their business. And they look very wholesome giving out books in the local community. So I think don't feel like you are not doing anything for them. You are. They're just literally giving you some money and you're giving them so much advertising as a result.
Absolutely, because I put it all over my social media, who'd sponsored them, shared it everywhere, and then they put in their marketing material in the pack as well. So yeah, loads of people were really surprised about the businesses that actually sponsored them. So they talked about the books and the businesses as well. So yeah, definitely.
And we had a question from Wendy, which was, how big was your free nursery book bundle, i.e. what did they win?
So I mainly used like my free book allowance, so I didn't really include that many. I probably included like a little jigsaw and maybe 2 or 3 other books. So I didn't say it was like a massive bundle. I just said, you know, a few books would be available to the nursery that won, and they were more than happy with that.
So if anyone has any more questions for Rachel, please feel free to keep putting them in the chat if they suddenly spring to mind, because we can always go back to Rachel at the end. Thank you so much, Rachel. That was amazing. And now on to Emma.
Thank you. Yeah, so apologies to all the leaders here, because I'm going to be talking about team leader promotion. But if you are already a leader, then maybe you can start thinking about maybe moving up to group leader or divisional or executive leader. But yeah, so this is for people that are wanting to kind of put it into their planning, or just have a go at it in the new year, or just want to find out more about it, really. So when I joined Usborne nearly 12 years ago now, so quite a while ago, I knew that I wanted to turn this into a full-time business. I wanted to make it more of a career, because it was just too perfect for me not to at the time. So I asked my mentor at the time which areas I'm best focusing on to turn Usborne into more of a full-time career. And she said, focus on schools and becoming a team leader, because schools are obviously a lot more commission because of bigger orders going in. And if you promote to team leader, you get paid almost like a wage that goes into your account every month around the same time. So it makes it more stable and more like a job. So that was her advice. So I got to work in both those areas. I didn't particularly want to build a team at the time. I wasn't against it, but it wasn't something that I felt passionate about. I just wanted to work with the books. But I thought I'll do it because it's like a means to an end, really. If I can do that and get that promotion and get that regular income coming in, then I can do what I really wanted to do, which was work with the books. But I never expected to just completely fall in love with recruiting and mentoring. And it's just my favourite part of the business. Even now, I absolutely love the people side of it. I used to be a careers advisor, so I used to work one-to-one with people. So maybe that's why the people side feels quite comfortable to me, because I've done it in the past. But I just fell in love with it, even more than working with the books. I love kind of the people side of Usborne. So something I did initially just to kind of increase my earnings ended up being something that I absolutely love. And I do more of that kind of than anything else, really. So if it's something you're kind of thinking, I don't really fancy that, like I was when I started, maybe just give it a go, because you never know, you might just fall in love with that area. And if you don't already know, just briefly, to promote to team leader, you need to recruit at least 4 people into your team. And then between you all, do £1,800 in sales in 1 calendar month. This is all in tools and downloads, so go back and kind of have a read of it all. 4 of your team members need to be active, so place at least £120 worth of orders, and you need to be active yourself. It can sound daunting, but it's all in the planning. I think March, because this session is obviously all about kind of planning ahead, I think March is a really, really good month to do it in, because you then got January and February to work on recruiting and growing your team. And then you've got March. You can also get the schools bookings in and nursery bookings for World Book Day. So then everything comes together then in March. You've got the 1,800 volume, you've got the schools and the nursery bookings that go towards that. And you've got your team, because you spent January and February building your team. So yeah, it all kind of comes together that way. So it is a really nice month to go for, and it gives you April as a backup month. Because if you want to get into the business development program that I'll tell you more about in a minute, you need to kind of do it before the end of April to get into it for the summer season. So what are the benefits of being a leader? Lots and lots of benefits, I think. Firstly, earnings. Like I said earlier, your earnings increase as your team grows, especially when your team start growing teams of their own. So if you want to do this on a more serious business, it can really, really help. As a mentor, so before you promote to team leader, you get 6% on your team sales, which is really nice. But then that rises to 11% when you promote to team leader. And then you get 5% on the people they recruit. You get 5% back on your own sales. So it can really grow. If you look at the partner guide in tools and downloads, there's a big section in there on promotion with all the details. And it also talks about promoting up to group leader, divisional and executive leader. Again, when I first started, my mentor told me that she doesn't do it anymore either, but she told me that when she first started, she just joined Usborne just for the books and for a bit of a hobby. And then one night she was up feeding a child about 2 o'clock in the morning, and she started just kind of looking through the partner guide, or the handbook as it was then. And she came across all the tables and all the information about kind of growing your business and recruiting and working up the levels. And she said she was just amazed because she had no idea you could actually do so much with this business. And from then on, she saw it as a really serious business and threw everything into it. And she was the first person in Usborne to promote to executive leader. And it was just because she kind of looked through that handbook and seen all the information there and just got really excited by it. So it's definitely worth a read. It's the partner guide in tools and downloads. And like I said earlier, it turns into a more regular income because you get it paid into your bank account around the same time every month. Some of the other benefits, friendships. I often think I've got just over 500 people now in my executive, but I always think if I hadn't started recruiting 12 years ago, I wouldn't have any of these people in my life. And some of them are like my best friends. I know them all really well. We've got a really lovely bunch of people, and I wouldn't know any of them if I hadn't bothered starting recruiting 12 years ago. So you definitely get to meet some lovely people through doing it. Personal satisfaction. It's just lovely to work with people and help them to achieve and grow in confidence as well. And you really feel like you're making a difference with people. The business development program. So this is something that head office run. You go straight in at gold level. Just make sure that you're active every month of the season to get in, because that's another part of it. You need to be personally active. So place £120 worth of orders. But it's brilliant. Just some of the benefits are free leadership academy, which is 2 days away and an overnight stay in a beautiful hotel. And it's absolutely brilliant. You learn so much from head office, from talking to other leaders, get authors coming in to talk to you. You get loads and loads of freebies. It's just really good fun and you learn a lot. And if you promote as team leader before the end of April, then you could go along to the one that's in June. You get 4 coaching calls with Lucy and Suzanne Pittman, and they're just brilliant for moving your business forward. It's just a space where you can just sit and chat about how you're getting on, and they're really, really useful. They've helped me a lot, the coaching calls. You get free and discounted delivery, which is massive and makes a huge difference. So you get free delivery over £120, and anything under that is £1.50. So when customers are just getting in touch and they want your book, you can send it out for £1.50. And that's just a massive thing for me. You get to be in a Facebook group with other leaders, which is really useful. And I'm always asking questions in there. You can find out a lot from that group. A discounted new titles pack, so you get new titles cheaper, and lots more too. And there was a post added yesterday onto the blog. So go and have a look. And that goes through summer BDP and all the benefits of it. So have a look at that. So how do you go about building a team? Just by getting the opportunity out there as much as you possibly can, in as many ways as you can, telling everybody how brilliant Usborne is, because it really is. Remember why you joined and how excited you were when you first joined, and use that excitement when you're telling other people about it as well, because it's catching. Don't feel shy about it or hold back or feel like you're bugging people, as you could be really helping people by putting the Usborne opportunity in front of them. Even if they do it for a little bit, have some fun, get some books for the kids, make a bit of extra money and grow in confidence a little bit. That's great. But you're also going to be helping people like me who were looking for something full time and looking for a total career change. And it's taken my life in a completely different direction, as it has done for many people. So those people are out there. So don't feel like you're bugging people, because you could be doing them a massive favour. Just briefly, there are different ways of recruiting. Posting in groups is working really well for me at the minute. Groups like parent groups, what's on locally groups, sales groups. mum groups, baby groups, and there are thousands of them all across Facebook. When I started building a team, initially I used Facebook groups, and then they didn't work as well, so I stopped and I went on to paid sponsored ads for a while. But recently I've gone back to the groups and they're working really, really well. I actually recruited 18 people last month, and that was just mainly from groups, which amazed me. That's not the norm for me. So they are really working at the minute, groups. I don't know why it seems to kind of change with Facebook. We don't really know why different things work and some things don't. But it wasn't even a lot of work. That's for around kind of 5 posts a day or something in the evening, just copying and pasting, and loads of people got in touch. So groups seem to be working very, very well at the minute. Paid ads, so sponsored ads through Facebook. The downside, of course, is the investment, but you can do it for as little as like £5 a day. And it's really good for people who are quite time poor, because you don't really do anything. You just switch the ad on and then Facebook put it in front of people. They inquire and you can send them some information. So they can work really well. There's your social media, so you can share on your page and in your group. That's really useful. Don't worry about doing it. Again, there are 2 sides to this business. There's selling the books and selling the opportunity. So again, just use it to kind of get the message out there. And you can also do it more subtly by using attraction marketing. So you can kind of share maybe that your children are really enjoying the books, or share what you've spent your commission on that month, or what a difference you've made in your community. So it's like a more subtle way of telling people how wonderful it is, without actually saying kind of join my team, being really direct about it. Then there's face-to-face. You can get out and about soft plays, toddler groups, and just chat with people. Hand out prize draw slips. They're really useful because they can tick a box if they want more information on joining, or maybe just hand out little leaflets explaining that you're looking for people in your area. Just get in touch if you'd like some information. You can just hand them out to people kind of going past, or put them in bags if they buy a book. And then there's people you already know, and customers. Customers are great because obviously they love the books already. So it's just kind of slipping it into the conversation with customers. Friends, my first recruit was somebody I used to go to primary school with. And what I did, I just messaged a few people. I actually message people I don't see very often. I felt a bit uncomfortable messaging people that I see a lot. So I thought I'll just message people like from a pastor that I don't see very often on Facebook. And she got in touch and said, yes, please. And she joined, and she did really well. But however you do it, just make sure you do it with confidence and believe in what you're doing. I read something once that really stuck with me that said, you're not a beggar, you have a gift. So you're not begging people to join your team. You're sharing something wonderful with them that could be potentially life-changing for them, and take their life in a completely different direction, like it did with me. So if team building is not something you've thought of, maybe have a think about factoring it into your 2024 planning, just to have a go and see how you find it, really. And if you decide you want to go for it and build a team and go for promotion, then March is an incredible month to aim for. Any questions at all, feel free to ask in chat, or have a chat with your mentor. And it also doesn't matter if you've been doing it for 5 years or 5 minutes. If you can mentor people, if you can help them, if you can support them, if you love to see people achieve, then you can be a mentor. Any information that you maybe don't know, you can just ask your own mentor, or look it up in tools and downloads. So you don't need to know everything. So just have a go and see how we find it. That's me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emma. And it's kind of like the look for a book in a way. Those people joining your team are not doing you a favour. And I think people get really fixated on, I need to get people to join my team because I need people in my team. They're not doing you a favour. You're the one that is offering them, like Emma said, this opportunity. And actually, if you don't tell them about it, it's up to them whether they take the opportunity or not. But it's up to you to let them know that the opportunity is there. So you are a cheerleader is effectively like what you are. You're their biggest supporter, which I think very few people in your general 9-to-5 jobs can say they have their own personal cheerleader who really wants to see them succeed and who is prepared to offer them so much support to get them to succeed. So I think maybe flip your mindset slightly about recruiting if you've always thought, oh, it's not for me, and actually think about, well, actually, like, who could you be helping by helping them to support their own business? There is an Instagram account called Pregnant Then Screwed. It's UK centric, but I think is generally useful for just showing you the climate of the world. If you're not already following it, I would suggest follow it, just because she's there's loads of stats on there about cost of living crisis, cost of childcare, like kind of general restrictions on people working in traditional 9-to-5 jobs. So I think it's quite useful to just look at the climate we're in and actually who could you help by supporting them with this opportunity and presenting them with this opportunity. And I think just being obvious about it. I don't know if people are so bad at this outside the UK, but the UK, I think we're very bad at just talking around a subject and never actually being obvious with things. You don't know what people's opinions are, and the worst someone's going to say to you is, no, it's not for me. Just like if you're trying to sell them a book, they might give you the exact same feedback. It's not personal, it's just not for them at that time. But if you don't offer it, they don't know. But there are some questions. So the first one is from Corey Ann, and it is, what do you do with the leads that reply to your Facebook posts in groups?
So I just message them. So I usually say at the end of it, either send me a message or say info please, and then most probably say info please. So I just send them a message. I've made a video about the opportunity, so I'll send the video and then I send some information for them to read afterwards. But what I also do, because we have potential people in our main executive group as well, so I put a link to that in comments to the post, and so you can join and have a look around if you want to. So you might have an opportunity group or something like that, so you can put a link to the opportunity group and then they can come in and have a look around. And it's just a way of getting them in somewhere where you can kind of show them more, really. So I found that's working really well as well. And then once they're in the group, I message saying, just let me know if you'd like more information. And most of them say, yes, please. So yeah, I'm not one. Some people do more chatting, don't they, and ask questions, and I don't really do that. I find that doesn't really work for me. So I just tend to send the information out. But I think the video helps massively because they can see you then and see that you're like a normal person and you're not dodgy. And that, I found that's really helped for me.
And Claire has asked, are there any demo recruiting posts on tools and downloads? I don't think there are.
No, I don't think so, no.
Could you let us know what you typically put roughly in the group? So what do you say when you're posting in there?
So just start by saying I'm a mum of 2 and I've been doing Usborne for 12 years. I'm looking for people who might be interested in doing it. A little bit about what it is. I don't do a massive post, but maybe a paragraph about the types of things that we do, sentence on the books. It's probably about maybe 3 paragraphs altogether, and then end it with, just let me know if you'd like more information. So that's why that's the thing that seems to be working for me at the minute. But some people do like really short posts, like, would you like to sell books? Message me for more information. And that seems to work for some people, and you just never know what's going to work. But I think it's good to think about your wording as well, and make sure you're not using wording that Facebook doesn't like, and try and get lots of words in there that Facebook does like. I think that definitely helps. So the image as well, make sure it's really eye-catching.
Thank you so much, Emma. And like with Rachel, if you think of another question for Emma, then do put it in the chat and we can come back to them at the end. So our final lovely leader that is helping us this evening is Zoe. So hello, Zoe.
Hello. Has that worked? Am I live?
You are live. You're slightly quiet, Zoe.
Oh,
but we can turn you up. It's fine.
No, I don't know. If I turn the general laptop volume up, does it go up? Am I louder or not?
That was slightly louder, I think.
Don't know. I'll see. If I end up shouting at everyone, I do apologise. I'm a bit flustered because I've literally just walked through the door and I've got 2 boys still up, and it's not gone to plan, but I'll try my best. I have no idea what's already been said because I wasn't here and I've literally just logged in. So if I say anything you've already talked about, then I do apologise. Where is my thing? So I believe you've mentioned all of the incentives in your slides, Lucy. Generally speaking, just a quick overview of the 3 that I sort of know we're covering. The 250 Club, the new one, this is super exciting. If you're in Bookworms, then we already do our own, well, Emma does, I'll say we, Emma does her 250 Club. And so we go for that anyway. And so I would suggest that anybody that doesn't already aim for 250, I mean, why not? Why limit yourself to just being active every month? You can just make it 2 orders instead of 1. And even if you don't get it, then you're just putting yourself out there that little bit more, and you are pushing your own boundary a little bit, instead of just limiting yourself to, oh yes, I'm active, I'll stop now until next month. There's no need to see it in that way. You can always just go for it, and it doesn't have to be every single month. You don't have to say, right, I have to get 250 every single month. You can just keep it at the back of your mind that you are going to aim for more than just being active. The travel incentive, I must admit, I'm not the biggest, the best one to talk to about that one, because I haven't won any of the travel incentives myself. But and I would say that I'm the classic person that has generally said, oh, well, I can't do that because I'm a mum with little kids. I can't go for the travel incentive because I wouldn't be able to go. But I am actually trying to teach myself that isn't what you should do. Because you can aim for the travel incentive all the way through the year, and whether you get it or not, it doesn't stop how much you've achieved throughout the year. You can still reach all those goals throughout the year of boosting your business, making everything bigger and better. And then by the time you reach that final point where they're picking the winners, you may have won and you may not, but all that way through the year you have pushed yourself and you've improved your business all the way through. So I don't think you need to shut off the idea of going for it at the start of the year or at any point of the year thinking, oh, well, I wouldn't be able to go. You don't need to worry about whether you'd actually be able to go or not, I don't think. I think you could decide that further down the line, and things might change further down the line. There's no point in limiting yourself to the possibilities. You may as well just go for it and see what happens. And if you do end up in a position where you need to figure things out, childcare wise or family wise, then that's just something you can deal with later down the line. You don't have to say, no, I'm not going to go for it just because of that. And I've told myself that as well, so I'm going to follow my own advice with that one. I'm getting in a muddle. Yes, I would say the Achievement Awards is the one that I'm probably best at talking about, because I've actually been to the Achievement Awards and I did experience it myself. And so I kind of feel like I'm talking about that one. When I achieved the awards, it was we went this February, so it was from like the previous year's awards. I promoted to team leader at the end of February, and so my first month as team leader was the March. Then throughout that year, I managed to achieve top new leader, and also I was in the top 3 for leader overall. So I earned my place at the Achievement Awards through that. I would say that I did not go out with the mindset of, oh, I'm going to promote to the leader, I'm going to get in the top 3. I sort of accidentally stumbled upon promotion in the February, but it all started for me in January. So this start of the new year is a perfect time to go for promotion and aim for all the Achievement Awards, regardless of what position you're in. I wasn't a new person to Usborne. I was a new person to promoting to team leader, but I wasn't a new partner. I think I'd been doing it about 4 years prior to that. So you don't have to think, oh, I'm only going to go for it I don't fit in each category, sort of thing, is what I guess what I'm trying to say. You can go for it no matter what stage you're at in your business, I think. I do think that because I managed to start my promotion journey and my leader journey at the beginning of the year, that put me in a stronger position to achieve it in my mind anyway, because you have to I can't explain why I think this, you have to build up your volume throughout the year. So your team volume is accrued throughout the year. With me promoting right at the start of the year, I was then able to build up my volume throughout the whole year, and had a much higher volume at the end of the year when I was top new leader. The downside to that would be that you have to stay promoted for the whole year, but I just saw it as a challenge to keep my position in the achievement awards and to be able to still go to the awards. So I wouldn't I would say that you should definitely go for it, and you should try and go for it early on to give yourself that target for the whole year. It's something to work towards. It made an enormous difference to my business. Once I started seeing that I was doing well that first couple of months, that gave me the biggest boost of confidence that I've ever had in Usborne at all. And I grew as a person and grew as a leader. My team grew, everything changed enormously from March onwards. And I do think the Achievement Awards top sort of list had a big part of that, because it was something that I wanted to keep. Once I'd reached that position, I wanted to stay, and I didn't want to drop down. I wanted to keep working at it, and I wanted to do whatever it took to keep that reward, basically. So I continued with all my recruiting. I made sure that once I'd got the team, I didn't just leave it at that. I carried on recruiting every single month. So there wasn't a month where I didn't recruit anybody new. You do always tend to get the ones that don't stay at it and they do drop off. So if you think, oh, I've got my team of 6 or 10 or however many, don't settle into that, because you just don't know that they're going to stay, unfortunately. So I would always just keep on adding every single month if you can, and concentrate an awful lot on the recruiting side, if that is the part that you're going to go for. So the recruiting, the leader, the new recruiter, they'd all require you to really keep recruiting as a key focus in your business. And you can do that and not be, you don't have to be an amazing seller as well as an amazing recruiter. You can focus on sort of different areas. So I found that recruiting was what I was better at, and team building and working with my team was definitely my strong point. So I grew that side of my business, whereas others might grow their sales side or their school side. And that can be the focus for them. Obviously, if you're awesome and want to do it brilliant in all of them, then you can be brilliant recruiting and brilliant sales and schools and things as well. But I would definitely say that you should go for it. I would definitely say that it is an amazing thing to go to and attend. It will give you an enormous boost of confidence. It will give you a massive feeling of achievement. It will I'd never met anybody at all. I'd never been to any of the leadership academies. I'd never been to any other events. I'd never met anybody in person. I was concerned about leaving my little boys. I didn't think that I'd be able to, because I didn't have a huge amount of backing at home. So I was thinking, oh, but what if I did win? I wouldn't be able to go anyway. And how would it even work? I don't think I'd be able to do it. but in the end, once I'd achieved that bigger thing, I told myself that there's no way I couldn't go. I had to go, and I had to achieve it for me. So I went and had the best time ever. It was just amazing. We went to Usborne on the first day, and we went and sat in Peter Usborne's office for the day and had meetings with lots and lots of lovely people, and they told us so many lovely things about the books and how things are decided, and we saw sneak peeks and we chatted to people about different series and how things work. And then we had a little wander around and saw all the different offices and all the different people in their sort of different positions in the company, and it was just the loveliest time. And then the evening we went to Claridge's for dinner and had the best, poshest, loveliest time, felt like a celebrity. And then the hotel that we stayed at was amazing as well. So you get sort of taxied around everywhere, you don't have to find your own way everywhere. It was so, everyone looked after you perfectly, and you just felt like you were really special and you were really appreciated and recognised for what you'd achieved. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling and a massive pat on the back. And I just think that it gives you and your business a massive boost. So it's just a definite. I just think everybody has to aim for it, no matter what category it is. I don't think there's any reason why you shouldn't, because if you didn't get in the top 3, it's not done anything bad. You don't lose out. It doesn't change anything. All you've done is grow during your process of aiming for it. So oh no, I've got a little elf. Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing? Can you remember when Mummy went to London?
Yeah.
Did Mummy do good?
Yeah.
Did you miss Mummy, or was it fine without Mummy?
I
I was hoping you were going to say it was fine. I was back the next day. I don't really know what else to say. I don't know if anybody's got any questions or anything about any of the incentives or the awards or anything like that.
Does anyone have any final questions for Zoe, Rachel, or Emma? I mean, I'm sure they're happy if you track them down on the internet to answer questions if you've got any burning questions after this. But I'll just wait quickly to see if anyone puts anything on. But a massive, massive thank you to Rachel, Emma, and Zoe for sharing their experiences. I would love to know what you are going to do in 2024 based on this. So are you going to aim for the 250 club? Are you going to try a book hunt? Are you going to start recruiting for the first time? Is there a category you want to achieve in the achievement awards? Are you coming to the Azores? I would love to know from the people on this call what, based on what Rachel, Emma and Zoe have said, really resonated with you and is going to change something you're going to do in 2024. So please do type into the chat. Okay, Carrie's going to the Azores. Fabian's going to work with schools. Paul's going to do the 250 club. More schools, building a team, 250 club, 250 club. Oh, Claire, yes to the book hunt. You're going to recruit. And she's going to see us all in January. Lucy's coming to Lake Combe. Oh, Lucy is coming to Lake Combe, that's a fact. 250 club. Annette is going to be joining Carrie in the Azores. That's a trouble waiting to happen. Teresa's going to love to be a team leader now, book club and 250 club. Guys, you have done an amazing job, my speakers, because people are aiming high, and that is what we like to see. So another huge, huge thank you to Rachel, Emma and Zoe, who are all incredible. Thank you for giving up your time. I did ask them quite last minute as well, so thank you for giving up your email. Also, especially to Zoe, who's actually come from swimming through the door onto the Zoom. It was timed quite well, actually, Zoe. And yeah, a huge thank you to all of you guys for investing in your business and joining us this evening. And if I don't see any of you pre-Christmas virtually, or I mean probably not in person, have a very happy Christmas, happy New Year, and I look forward to seeing you guys ready and raring to go in January. And thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye.